He spent days promising not to U-turn, but in the end, the Education Secretary was for turning. Brilliant is not how thousands of students would describe the race to claim their university places now. Despite going on an apology tour, the question as to why, with months to prepare, Gavin Williamson couldn't prevent this mess could see him out of this office soon.
There's been plenty of reports about you potentially resigning or being forced into a resignation. Is that something you've considered?
My focus is making sure that all youngsters get the grades they deserve, make sure that all schools are returning in September.
So he's still feeling confident about his future, but for A-level students like Theo, it's been a bruising experience. Because of the initial downgrade, he lost both his places for medical school. He's now been accepted at his second choice, but is still waiting to hear on his first.
The government, since we left in March, you've had sort of 5 months to fix this situation, and here you are putting in a U-turn 3 days after results day. I just imagine if you really were in control of the situation and knew what you were doing, that perhaps you could have done it earlier to save a lot of outcry.
For others like Delilah, though, even with the corrected grades, her preferred university course is full, leaving her in limbo.
I've been feeling frustrated, confused, disappointed, upset, uncertain about my future, left me feeling let down by the government. I feel like they don't care about students, they don't care about young people. It's just been really stressful, to be honest. I haven't been sleeping well, it's been on my mind. I've just been refreshing my emails, checking my phone, seeing if there's any communication or any indication of what's going to happen.
Yeah, how can I help?
On the other end of the phone are admissions officers like these. Normally this call centre at Reading University would already be packed up, but they're still trying to sort through the mess.
Had a lot of calls, lots of students really happy that they've got better results than they had last week. Some confusion about what they do next.
I had to say I'm very sorry, I can't make an offer today, which is heartbreaking really. I'm hoping some of those students will be calling us back today and we'll be able to help them this time.
But with a new school term around the corner, universities are already worried about next year's admissions.
It has been utterly challenging for universities to respond to this. It's massive uncertainty for applicants. We just can't see that shambles happen again.
For some of the class of 2020, though, the uncertainty continues.
Well, Vincent joins us from Westminster now. Vincent, actually some welcome news today for BTEC students, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. Another government U-turn. The Education Secretary announced that BTECs would be treated the same as other qualifications, so they will get their predicted grades. But for those students doing those vocational qualifications, that's meant another 24 hours without explanation, really, as to why there was a delay of, wondering, figuring out what's going to happen to them. And now, of course, that delay means it'll be even harder for them to sort out those college and university places.
It's 24 hours since this U-turn, isn't it? The pressure's not going away. Can the Education Secretary survive this, do you think?
Well, being a Secretary of State is all about confidences. The first is the confidence of the sector you're trying to govern, and the second is the confidence of your boss, the Prime Minister, in this case, Boris Johnson. When it comes to the education sector, I spoke to lots of officials at universities today who put the blame for this squarely at Gavin Williamson's door. They said despite him trying to deflect to Ofqual, the regulator, this was his fault and he should have seen it coming. So seems that there's been a loss of confidence there. For his boss, though, we know that the Prime Minister's on holiday in Scotland at the moment. He'd have to be somewhere pretty remote not to see the headlines and the front pages, really reflecting that anger of parents and students across the country. And this could go on because, of course, we've got GCSEs coming on Thursday as well, and there's still some confusion on those results.